I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much and welcome. First item on order is public comment. We ask that you keep it to 3 minutes. I would like to put in for the record that Ken Van Buskirk emailed us and all of the commissioners have received it. So we thank you to Ken. So who would like to speak? Hi. Who would like to speak first? John? Christian?
I'll go
Who?
first.
He had it. Go ahead.
Okay.
I don't see anybody online yet, just so that you know, we are kind of having some technical difficulties with our equipment.
Okay.
Go ahead, thank you,
I'm going
John.
to take my few minutes just to, for public comments, to pray over the commission and the Port of Allyn and pray over a blessing
Thank you.
for all that you got ahead of you and all that you're going to do. Okay, dear Father God, I just praise you for Commissioner Kobe coming in and willing to embrace and engage in with this current commission, Lord God, and just ask for your guidance and your continued discerning spirit to be moving in the hearts and minds of all 3 commissioners and our executive director and his team, Lord God, that over the Port of Allyn you continue to protect this port and continue to give them that incredible intercession of your Holy Spirit and provide them in their hearts and minds for that discernment that's been much needed and has been much used by the intercession of your Holy Spirit. We just praise you, Lord Father God, for faithfully know that you've got this and you continue to be the beacon of light here at this port. And I just praise you, God, for all that you're doing here at the port. In Jesus' precious name, amen. Amen. That's my public comment.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Of which you are now the chaplain for Mason County.
Yes.
Thank you. Next, Jeff.
Jeff Carey, Allyn Lake. Just a couple of comments. One on the financial. Obviously, we're doing better and getting the reports, as far as the budget side, better. I don't know if it looks like there's another report that came in since what went on the website, but at least to what was at least publicly available as of early this morning, we still need to work on these reports. It takes a lot of work to figure out where we are when I look at them. I've looked at them in the past, and we should be able, the public as well as the board, should be able to look at it and know within at least reasonable where we are. So, as an example, I'll give one example, and again, it may come up in different reports or something, but in the 2026 budget, we budget a certain amount for payroll. And it averages out about 17, 18K a month. This month we're at 28K. That's, well, I'm just saying that's budgeting an opportunity that needs to be worked. And if it's a problem, resolve, whatever. The other thing is, planning wise, based upon what happened in the last year during the couple weeks ago with the derelict vessel issue, it's become apparent that, had this happened a year and a half ago, that might be a real squeeze trying to make that happen, because between what was expended, cost to the different vendors as well as the payroll and what have you, the port would have been in a bind to try to do that. They could have done with registered warrants and what have you, but it's putting the port in a bind. So what I'm asking the port to look into is, eventually setting some budget aside, under some type of heading for these types of things, because they inevitably will happen in the future. Moving on to the water system, I don't know, you have a part in the agenda that's going to talk about the water system in a couple of different facets. I would like the board to add to that at least like the subcommittee report or view or whatever you want to call it, where being the chair of that committee, I can give you an update. Real quick, the day-to-day figures, pretty much I understand what's going on there, I can tell, and that's fine. What I'm concerned about is that, and the rest of the committee observes the same thing, is that we are spending a little bit more in costs than we are taking in revenue. And right now, it's not it's apparent because there's a number of connection fees coming in, and so that, and administrative fees and what have you, and that kind of, it looks like we're doing really well, which we're doing much better. Time's up. Bottom line, we're short on the day-to-day with what we collect in water revenues. Bottom line, at least about $10K per year, which works out to about $10 a month per user. So, anyway,
Thank you.
leave it at that. Thanks.
Thank you. Anybody else? Randy?
Start here first. John, thank you. Thank you for all your service and everything you've done for all these years here, for stepping up in a time when it was so difficult, and now stepping into a whole new career of which you were very much needed. And thank you for leading us in prayer to start off.
Thank you.
I always appreciate that, and I know that's getting harder and harder and rare to come by, but thank you for all you've done.
Amen.
Commissioners, I get a chance to thank you here recently. God put you here at the right time, and I get to say that because He led with prayer. So I'm going to go right on out with that and just tell you thank you. I'm so happy today with what I'm seeing, what's about to happen. You've come a long way, young man, from the little guy breaking down bamboo in the community, and I'm just so proud of you. I can tell you how I cannot express how proud I am of you. The only thing dishonorable about running for office is running away when it's your turn, and you decided to step up during a time that's very, very interesting. It can be very, very difficult, but I knew you wouldn't run away. I'm proud of you. I brought a little something for you. This is an old thing from me from when I first came. You remember the Association of Ports Pins when we first started? I just wanted to present that to you. And for those that don't know, I was the port commissioner for 6 years. Do you remember in 2015 we presented coins to the foundational families and men and women, the fathers and mothers of our community? It's funny, I know we always talked about your family, but I still have one here for you and your name as a foundational member of this community. You've been a blessing to us.
Thank you.
And again, all in all, I know you can never do this stuff forever, but you were there through everything and through all of that, and our community thanks all of you. And may God bless and watch over you. I know it'll be difficult the next year or so, but you were the right people, the right time, the right place, and the right job. Thank you, and God bless you guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Wow, thank you so much. Kind of dumbfounded.
How do we find out if we have anybody online or not
I'm trying to look at that.
with our current?
So, anybody else? Christian, did you want to say anything? Patsy? No?
Sign on by phone.
Maureen?
It's,
Do you have anything to say? Yeah, let's.
I have lots to say, always.
Can you do it in 3 minutes? You want to stand? Oh,
Probably
darn.
not, but I can't even remember what I was gonna talk to.
Well, Maureen, go ahead and stand up there and give us your 2 cents and see if we can get our Zoom people online. It'll give us a moment or two for Zoom people. Are you doing okay, Travis? or-
Sort of.
it's showing a different meeting ID than we normally have.
There you go.
Well, she's got notes.
You
Let's
got
start.
this.
Well, it's because this is my 3rd meeting of the day, and
Oh,
I went home and checked the farm really fast. Hi, I'm Maureen Crane Garcia, and I'm with the North Mason Historical Association. And we had a meeting today, and I was supposed to ask Judy about, safety paperwork that we might have to have. Because I think that's a good idea. If we want, because we want to keep all these entities together, whether it's the port, Allyn Community Association, the church, and the North Mason Historical Society. And I think it would be advantageous for us to have paperwork to protect ourselves when we're on the job and stuff like that, or we're doing something.
A work release.
Work
Or
release.
an injury
Well,
release or whatever.
Yeah,
A waiver.
so that if we have volunteers that want to do that, they can't sue us. I think that would be a really good idea. And so I can't remember what else I was supposed to ask about, but the church did really well on the sing-along. It was fabulous. We had a full thing. He sang Silent Night in German for us. Christian did, which was just amazing.
Janice led it.
Yeah.
She had no idea an hour before that she was gonna lead it. But
And she brought toys for the kids, and there was children, and we had a full church, and then down below it was fabulous. Patsy made cookies and Terry made cookies, and they were just spectacular. So we really enjoyed our day. And I can't remember what else I was supposed to talk to him about, but I'm sure it'll come to me and I'll find my way to him.
Thank you.
You guys have a wonderful meeting.
Thank you, Maureen. Thank you for sharing all that too. That's great. Well, Janice should have called me. I could have been there.
I'll tell her next year,
Okay.
because we're on for next year, I hear.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, I'm still waiting in case there's anybody on Zoom.
I tried to sign in, since waiting for hosts to start meeting.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I think I have to end this meeting and find the other meeting, because this is the wrong meeting ID. You're still simulcasting. Well, yeah. You're recording.
well, I'll tell you what, to move forward, let's just go ahead and do our oath
Let's
of
just pause.
office.
Let's pause.
You want to pause? Okay. You think you can get it on? Okay.
Whoops,
Recording in progress.
I got it.
Good.
That's like 7-Eleven.
Huh?
The door at
Oh,
7-Eleven.
yeah.
I spent a lot of time at 7-Eleven as a kid.
I worked there when I was there.
A friend of mine did, so I spent a lot of time.
Okay, you're on. And recording.
Excellent. Okay.
And
Do you
we
see
have,
anybody
we have
who
Joe
wants to speak?
Cedarlin, we have a guest from Rollins Incorporated, and Web TV.
Okay, Zoom people, do you have any public comment? We are still in public comment. Do you see?
Nobody's got their hands up.
I want to let them know that we've had some technical difficulties.
There's been some technical difficulties, and the wrong meeting was in place, but we'll have both recordings put on to the website when the time comes. So if there's anyone that has a public comment, please raise your hand and we will allow it. Randy just signed in, proving that it is operating properly.
Great.
You want me to admit Randy?
Nope.
Okay.
Just wanted to,
Yep.
way they can't say that you didn't try.
Technology is wonderful, but can also be a real pain at the same time when it doesn't want to work the way it's supposed to.
Okay.
Very good. Okay, we are now at that point to where we get to have the oath of office for our current commissioner and our new commissioner, Kobe Treadway. Correct?
Correct.
Okay, and welcome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, the podium, please.
Do you both go or just one at a time?
One at a time.
Okay.
Yes, one at a time.
Mr.
Here's,
Burton.
here's the sheet that you asked me for.
Okay.
I'm Dr. Christine Michael. I'm the new superintendent at North Mason School and was honored to come and do this oath of office. So we're going to start with you, Mr. Curtin. So do you, Michael Curtin, solemnly swear that you are a citizen of the United States and the state of Washington?
I do.
That you are legally qualified to assume the office of Port of Allyn Commissioner of District 2? that you will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States and the state of Washington,
I do.
that you will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of this office to the best of your ability.
I will.
Congratulations, Commissioner Curtin, and thank you in advance for all of your work.
Thank you.
Thank you. Would you like a copy of this?
You have the paper here.
Okay, here you need the paper to sign.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Treadway. Do you need me to sign this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a pen if you
We probably do need a pen.
I left mine
Okay.
alone.
Are you ready?
I am.
Okay. Do you, Kobe Treadway, solemnly swear that you are a citizen of the United States and the state of Washington,
I do.
that you are legally qualified to assume the office of Port of Allyn, Commissioner of District 2,
I do.
that you will support the Constitution of the United and laws of the United States and the state of Washington,
I do.
that you will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of this office to the best of your ability.
I will.
Congratulations, Commissioner. And we will all sign. So I'm down here, so you're up there. So you get to sign and print. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
And I can move and do this elsewhere if you would like to continue in a meeting.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
You're right.
It's all part of the,
Thank you, John.
thank you, John.
Appreciate it.
I'm ready. See you later, buddy.
Thank you.
No, you can't. It's.
Okay, now that we have
Okay.
official commissioners,
Commissioner.
welcome, Kobe.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We would like to also duplicate our swearing in by having Commissioner Randy
Netherland?
Netherland also swear both of them in.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
we can do that, sure. One at a time again?
Yes, one at a time.
Okay.
Either way.
I tried to get it on Zoom, but
We fixed it. No,
Either one of you.
Sorry.
there was a problem.
All right.
It's nice to see your face though,
Please
because
write-
we knew
please
that
write
you
down.
Zoom didn't work.
Michael, you, Michael Curtin, solemnly swear that you are a citizen of the United States and the state of Washington.
I do.
That you are legally qualified to assume the office of the Port of Allyn, Commissioner of District 2.
I do.
That you will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States and the state of Washington.
Always.
And that you will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of this office to the best of your ability.
I do.
Congratulations.
All right, thank you very much.
We're verifying, just for those that don't know, we're just verifying is reading over the RCWs. I want to make sure that it's legal before they take a vote. Sorry, you have to go through all that? All right, Kobe Treadway, you solemnly swear that you are a citizen of the United States and the state of Washington.
I do.
That you are legally qualified to assume the office of the Port of Allyn, Commissioner of District 3.
I do.
That you will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States and the state of Washington.
I will.
And that you will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of this office to the best of your ability.
I will.
Congratulations, Teresa.
Thank you so much, Commissioner.
Thank you.
That's great. Thank you.
That needs the date. I guess I can do it. It probably
that?
should be the date.
Okay.
Just because that way I'm not, I did mine, but. I already did mine.
Okay. I'm gonna hand that over to Travis. Okay, excellent. So now that we have official commissioners, we are going to appoint officer positions. So it's the free-for-all. What do you want to do?
Well, I was figuring that you probably did not want to be the chair again, but if you do, that's fine.
Do you want to be chair?
I'm willing to be chair. There's a difference, but I'm willing to be the chair if you don't want to.
Fine,
If you
that's
don't
fine
want
with
to, I know
me.
this is your
Sure.
final year, so.
Just no, I found out it's not my final year.
Oh, it's not? Oh, well, there we go then.
Well, no,
Okay.
that's okay. Get your feet wet. so that's fine if you want to be that. I'm good with that. Are you okay with him
I'm
being
okay
chair?
with that.
Anybody else? Well, it's our decision, sorry. You know, public input, right? Okay, as long as you're willing, I guess we can vote. Let's do the whole thing. How about me continue to be vice chair?
Okay.
And then you would be secretary,
Okay.
okay? Do we have to do that individually, or can we do it corporately for the officers that Michael Curtin will now be the chair, Judy Scott will now be the vice chair, and Kobe Treadway will be secretary?
Do we need to vote on that?
We need to
or-
vote on that, yes.
Yeah, you do.
All in favor of that, or do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion that we make me chair, you vice chair, and Kobe secretary.
Do I hear-
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so moved, okay.
Did
Want
we
to trade
officially
places?
approve the agenda?
Huh?
Did we officially approve the agenda?
Well, of course I skipped that one.
May I make a few corrections to the
Yes.
agenda? I did not remove John Sheridan from the commissioners that are currently commissioners, so I will make that adjustment. And that is the only portion of the agenda I needed to amend.
I do have a change, it was requested by Jeff about putting more of the water committee in the agenda.
Okay. It can be item D in the water development portion.
Sure.
When we talked, didn't you say there was something else that we needed to amend?
Not that I have notes here. I had, there was an amendment to the minutes, but I'll get to that when the consent agenda arrives.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay.
So you're gonna be chair, so you're chair now, so you get to run the show. You wanna sit here, just for fun?
Sure. That's all right, I'll leave that with you for now.
Okay, sounds good.
Although I don't think we're doing any more.
No, it's a public comment, I don't think.
But
Sorry.
all right, that's yours.
You did all.
This here.
Okay, we have voted on the agenda, so go ahead.
Appointment of commissioners, we've done that.
Oh,
Okay, so now we need to do the consent agenda.
well, may I propose something here too? I'm not sure, I forgot about this, but we need to appoint.
That was the other item, is to discuss the board's positions on the EDC.
Oh,
PRC,
yes, that's what it was, I wanted.
Thank you,
And the
yeah.
Mason Transit Authority. And I have more information on the Mason Transit Authority position. It's not, we don't choose it, you have to apply for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so when that information comes from Mason County, I emailed the person responsible for it, and they're gonna get back to me.
Okay,
Hasn't happened yet. I talked to Mason Transit Authority today, Amy, who's the manager there, and they said that they haven't started that process yet.
okay.
So I'll let you know when it starts.
Well, as you know, I've been on the Peninsula Regional Transportation Organization for many years. I will continue to do so. It is required to have a letter of authorization from the board, so hopefully you can still appoint me for that. I don't anticipate any other boards that, I could need to be on, since Travis is going regularly to the chamber meetings, and I don't think we need to have the board appointed for that. But, question, Michael, would you like to stay with the EDC or go
I
to
can
MTA?
stay with the EDC.
Okay. So, Kobe, I don't mean to run the show here, but Kobe, would you mind if the opportunity arises to perhaps be on the board for the Mason Transit Authority?
I would not mind.
Okay. So with that being said,
We're gonna need to make a
motion.
motion.
Yeah.
You wanna make the motion?
Sure. So I make a motion that we appoint Judy, myself, to PRTPO, and Michael to Economic Development Council of Mason County, and Kobe to Mason Transit Authority.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay.
Okay, so I will create letters for Judy and for Michael for the EDC, Judy for the PRTPO, and we will wait to hear from Mason County when the application process comes through so that Kobe can apply.
Okay, excellent, thank you.
All right, now we need to approve the consent agenda.
And as mentioned before, I had to make an adjustment to the minutes. I saw a copy and paste error in them for the approvals.
Which, is that December 8th?
Yeah, the December 8th minutes.
Can you tell me?
It was
what-
the financial position report
Okay,
in area D where you called everything out. Your name was stated twice. So
okay,
I made that adjustment. And it's in the minutes that you will sign if you so approve them.
okay. Well, having looked at everything, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda items, regular meeting minutes, December treasury, and the general and the water fund.
Do I hear a second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Sorry. Aye.
Aye. All right, it's approved. Okay. Let's sign this. There you go. Need, okay. All right, so now we need to go down to the
Commissioner reports.
commissioners. Thank you. Commissioner reports. Would you like to go first?
Sure, I'll go ahead and go first. I didn't do much December. I was doing a lot of holiday stuff. I did the December 8th meeting, regular meeting. I attended the Port of Duato meeting just for fun. It was really great to see everybody again, and had a conversation with our auditor, our Tim Trails, our state auditor. And that was about it.
Considering this is my first meeting, I have nothing to report for December. And we will hopefully have a lot more to report next month.
Yep, attended the regular meeting, and we didn't have a special meeting. I helped out a little bit with the, picking some stuff up with the derelict vehicle, or vessel, on the dock, and then I also at the Sweetwater project, I was there while they, collecting tags and stuff as they, cut down the trees or trim limbs, depending on which tree it was. Kept along, made sure everything got done for that.
Excellent.
So, did not attend the EDC due to conflict of interest at the last month. I had no ability to do anything about, but I did make a phone call and found out what took place, so. That's it.
Okay.
Executive Director's Report.
Okay, everyone's had a chance to read through and peruse both the executive director's report and the security reports.
Yes.
Any burning questions before I go through a few of the items?
Not right yet.
We're of course in the halfway to two-thirds point of our triannual audit process with the state auditor's office. Have another meeting coming up in a week and a half on Thursday. I'll make sure you know when it is. But we're getting really close to the phase where we will wind it down and they will come up with all of their thoughts and processes for us. It has not been as daunting as I thought it would be. So, I had a chance to attend several meetings during the course of December, of course. North Bay Historical Society, we had meetings with the state auditor, prospective bidders when it came to the consolidation project. Several of those that came out and made observations on our well system to really tighten up their bidding process, which we have 5 bids to unseal tonight. There's just quite a bit of time in several meetings when it came to that. It took up a lot of time, and of course, the Sea Bear sinking took up nearly all of my time since it happened. Very difficult to pursue other things that the port needs to get done, so working on balancing that right now. And of course, our bill came in from the county for the general election. You approved that in the consent agenda budget, or consent agenda. Port Day is coming up. Make sure that anyone who wants to go lets me know, because I might need to put out a quorum notice.
I will be going.
Okay.
And I'm interested in going as well.
Okay, so I'll get that quorum notice ready.
Toby, you want to go as well?
Sure.
So that's, there's a Thursday night, there's a reception from 5 to 8. That's really good for networking with the other ports and other people in the industry, including other legislators and such. And then the Friday day is the big day. It starts early in the morning, lunch, breakfast provided by the WPPA, and that's a full day. So let me
On that-
know if you're both going or willing to go for both days.
Yeah, on that note, we should probably try to make appointments with our legislators.
Yeah. I'll be sending those out this
Okay.
week. And of course, you saw our invested totals in the state pool. The water fund has gone up by leaps and bounds from all the connection fees that we picked up. And that's sitting there gaining interest for the sake of gaining interest. We like money, right?
Comes in handy occasionally.
Water system development, we've got a few items that we'll discuss. I can bring that around when we get to those in the next portion. But yeah, Oyster House has gotten several, we've gotten a few processes done there. We actually have passed an insulation inspection. And I'm in talks with Elsport Engineering to get our contract negotiated so that we can move forward with the engineering side, so.
On that Oyster House note, let's be sure and get some kind of template for them for a waiver.
Yeah,
And,
I actually have the template already. I just need to spend time adjusting it from
Okay.
its template form for them.
All right.
So, yeah.
What time frame are we looking at, do you think?
I could get it done by the end of the week. Yeah.
With everything else going on?
Yeah, with everything else going on.
Okay.
I got three hours into fixing that up, so. But I still have to get it over to our attorneys to make sure that they're okay with what it looks at, so. There's
Even
gonna
if
be-
it's
There's gonna
for
be some wait
North Bay?
time before we could actually put it into a meeting for approval.
yeah, even though it's gonna be for North Bay Historical
Yeah,
Society?
correct.
Okay,
Yep. Last time it was less than an hour for them to look at it, when we did the one with the salmon enhancement group.
okay.
The roof leaking scenario, I'm just waiting until we've got a real long stretch of dry weather. I don't want to put those guys on the roof during the winter, and it has not leaked since. It takes a really unique combination of wind and rain for it to actually leak. I mean, last time the wind was swirling around here like we were having a tornado, and it was raining at the same time, and then it leaked. So, keeping an eye on that.
No water on the tiles, the ceiling on the inside
No.
or anything?
Came through once and then just didn't do it again. And then, I kind of skipped around here, but of course the holdback agreement got the monies returned, and we will have to discuss with Jeff and Debbie Carey about how we proceed with that.
Okay. And we have a plan to correct that? Or,
I have not discussed one yet, so
okay.
give you more information as we talk about it. So at this point, I can provide further context as we go through the port priorities portion, if you'd like.
All right.
Port regular business administrative improvements to start with. there isn't any action items there, so it moved straight to the water system development.
All right. You can go ahead.
When did you want to bring up the time about the water system with Jeff?
After the holdback agreement portion.
Okay.
So, yeah, water system development, item A, Pinnacle Construction. So, they provided an application that we reviewed at our latest, water committee meeting.
Thank you, Randy.
One second.
Randy.
Okay, yeah, so Pinnacle Construction applied for one connection, and the water committee reviewed it. The thing is that the connection is already basically made. The line has been tapped, it just hasn't been finished to the meter base. So it's a fairly easy extension application to approve. This would put them into place where we could now give them a water availability letter and they would sign the developer's extension agreement so that they could begin the process of applying for their building permit and put them that much closer to finishing their project out. So I just provided the commission with their application and a simple drawing there just to kind of keep them in the loop, make sure they didn't have any heartburn about anything that had been discussed. And it is with the Water Commission's recommendation.
Okay. So we just need to approve.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to go ahead and?
Sure, I'll make a motion to approve the application from Pinnacle Construction.
I second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. It passes. So we'll sign that if we need to.
There's nothing to sign on.
All right. Okay.
I'd move on to the consolidation bid opening.
What do you got for us?
So these
you,
are
Randy.
1, 2,
Thank
3,
you.
4, 5 total bids received by the Port of Allen. All sealed. Have you open the first bid, and I will break down what's in it and what needs to be documented.
Roll them all. This is what we do in a workshop. Okay.
Okay, you opened it up? No, because these all have to be opened up on camera. Okay, so Roglin's General Contractors provided a total bid of $193,500 for the consolidation project.
What company was that? I'm sorry.
Roglin's General Contractor,
Okay.
and we'll add them to the list.
How much was that again? I'm sorry.
$193,500.
Okay.
And does the bid cover everything that we need?
We will determine that after the meeting. We're not gonna spend time researching that. We're gonna take these numbers down,
Okay.
open in public, and then we will verify their responsiveness to the bid, and then we'll have another meeting to produce that information.
All right, I'm now opening the second one. This is by Papi and Sons Construction.
Could you give me the packet that the first one was opened up over? Thank you.
And this was Pig, right? Is that one?
Yep,
Yeah.
Papi and Sons. And this looks like it's $156,477.40.
56, 740. Okay.
Okay, and the next one that was open,
Papi and Sons.
Pape and Sons? Okay. and the total was $156,477.40.
Is that from Northwest Cascade?
Yeah, this is Northwest Cascade, is the next one?
Northwest Cascade is the next one.
Yep.
Could you call out the amount? I can do it if you like, if you're having trouble finding it.
It's not, like the others, it was very apparent, this one
Yep,
it's
I'll
not.
take a look at
so. There's the,
Northwest Cascade. It is in the back now.
Northwest Development. I don't feel so bad now. Just having trouble finding.
A lot more words and numbers.
That looks-
Would be in the body of the letter. What is that little sticky note on the side? Would it be in there?
No, it's the proposal, there it is. $155,298.
Any cents on that one?
No cents. Hence the sticky note, right? Okay, the next one.
All right, this is Northwest Development.
$157,956.52.
We seem to have a, you know, most of them seem
That was-
right around the same number, right?
That was 157,956, correct?
And 52 cents, correct?
Okay. No, that's good.
All right, last one is Titan Mechanical.
is from Titan Mechanical. $78,000 from Titan Mechanical.
That's a little better.
Well, now all of these will have to be reviewed by port staff and the findings for their completeness to the requirements of the
Right.
statement of work.
Well, and thank you to all the construction companies that made the bid.
Yeah, that's,
Thank you.
it's a lot of work putting all that together, so that's good. It gives us selection, hopefully.
Yep, just the beginning process. We'll have the selection done in another meeting where we provide that information.
We're gonna need to have a special meeting to do that, or?
Either a special meeting or a regular meeting coming up next month. So yes, we will need another public meeting to discuss the completeness of all of those.
To get this moving quicker, shouldn't we look at having,
This is government, we can't really get it any quicker, and we've got a pretty small office, so we've got a lot of other responsibilities that the port has to handle.
all right, I'm just trying to,
I know. If I could make it any faster, I would.
yeah, I'd like to see us get as many of these things, previous projects and things caught up and done, so we can move on to bigger and newer things. All right, so, let's see here, we have, all right, we'll get the holdback agreement fund from Allyn Carey Water System purchase. Pretty much covered. What else do you need to cover on that?
One moment, please.
Sorry.
So, yeah, we need to discuss what the next process is gonna be. There's not a lot to go off of there, but I needed to make you all aware of it, and you're in the first regular meeting after the funds were returned. They were returned due to not completing the requirements of the holdback agreement. And now we just need to revisit how we're gonna approach that, so.
Maybe we should give, or I can give how we, what we led up and how we got to this point, and then,
Yeah, I mean, it's,
and I can do that, or you can do it, that doesn't matter, either one of us.
yeah, I mean, we got to this point because of delays on our engineering side.
Right, I know,
Yeah,
the holdback agreement was for the as-built drawings of the water system you purchased from, or purchased from me. We did finally get the information to, from my surveyor.
Would you mind standing up there?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry. It just helps
Yep,
everybody.
yep. Jeff Carey. So basically, we got to this point where, okay, in the contract for the purchase of the water system, the port, as required by WACS, the Washington Administrative Code, was to provide, we were to provide the port with as-built drawings of our water system and all its connections and what have you. That dragged on a little bit with the surveyor, but we finally got all the information with the surveyor. Surveyor was trying to phase out work, so he was not gonna be able to draft it and put it to a drawing, electronically or otherwise. And so we agreed to hold back 10K because we didn't know what the final number would be, but roughly it would be what the surveyor was saying, somewhere around 3 to 4K to wrap it up, but we're fine with holding the 10K. Okay, so then Travis and I meet with your engineer to, among other things, get as-built as well as other projects that they're working on. And they came up with a plan. The port signed an agreement to go ahead with that plan, to create as-built, to basically create as-built of the port system, and then tie my as-built that I have from the surveyor into that system so that you would have one complete set of files and drawings. And so I agreed with Travis and the representative from the engineering firm that I would take our number, which we're factoring around 3,500, and I said, okay, fine, I will double it and make it 7 if we can share the data back and forth, which we still have to work on an agreement on. But then that way, when I say share data, there's because my nonprofit maintains roads up in the Platte, there was need for back and forth for sharing of data where sewer and stormwater and other things are going in addition to the port's water. And so we're going to try to make a cooperative agreement with no problems yet. You know, there's no issue with the port on that. It's just that we've been hung up with engineering, and at least from my reference point, the as-built are, you know, sadly lacking in the capability of the engineering firm to produce them. And the drawings that have been produced, the water committee has reviewed them. I have personally reviewed them, and you know, from the standpoint of Debbie and I, from, you know, selling the water system, and they're not anything in my mind that's adequately close to what the port needs to manage the water system with what we've put in the ground. In fact, our drawings from 2016, which are pretty close, are way more sufficient data than what's been provided to date. So a couple of things. One is we have to work out a method. I'm not hung up on the issue of the port holding on to the funds. Debbie and I have no issue there until this is completed one way or another. But the port has to come up with something, some approach here, how to wrap this up, because basically we had a plan. There's a retirement, so then we had Plan B, which is use your firm, you know, the port's using, which has the capability of doing it, and it's just not there. It's not the adequacy is not there. When Travis and I met with the engineering firm, we went over some of the shortcomings and what have you. Okay, great. I think Travis, I don't know if he covered it with the board since then or not, but basically has decided to take one of the 6, there's like, in the water system, it comes in 6 different areas. And it was agreed, at least Travis and I agreed to just focus on one of the 6 areas and have your crew, your personnel, do the numbers and the measurement of that area and then see what we have relative to the drawings. And I mean, personally, I could create the drawings, but I'm not an engineer.
Right.
And I mean, I could do it, you know, from scratch. I mean, I have no problem. I mean, it takes me longer than an engineer, but I can do it. I've done it. So, but we really want to try to get it through one firm, integrate the ports into ours, so that the port can manage this water system in entirety. And it doesn't help if, you know, where we are.
Do we need to get a new engineering firm?
That is for you.
That was my question.
Personally, I believe, looking at past work and what have you, the firm has the capability. I'm not privy, because I'm not in the day-to-day functions like the port. From the meetings I have, I don't see any reason why they can't produce them and get it done.
But they're not.
Yeah, I see that I don't believe the port should pay more money either. Like I said, I doubled what I would figure it was going to be contributing to help defray some of those costs so the port didn't have it. But the port hasn't gotten anything close to what I think should be there. And when I say I think, meaning when I look at the Washington State Code for Utilities and what they're supposed to provide for as-built and construction, it's not there. I mean, and it's not just, oh, we missed a thing or missed 1 to 2 things. It's in one section, which is about 800 feet of area of service line, and some of them missing 20 or 30 different items or in error per section. So you might have there might be 100 to 120 different items in this whole report.
So Travis, I know that you were kind of keeping up with that, but they haven't really responded, have they?
No, I mean, they have, but this is, the claim is that the amount of work that's done has produced exactly this. And
Oh,
it's taken
so
this
no.
much time to produce this, and we've been billed accordingly for it.
Gotcha.
So, they,
Okay,
it seems that there's been a gross estimation of what it costs to produce these as-bills. Because we were quoted a price and it definitely ran 10% over that.
well, okay.
Right. So I'm gonna work with the board.
That's why we've stopped at this point,
Yeah.
and we'll have to reevaluate where we're going to go with this, because we need to put our personnel on the one page, take all those measurements and see how many errors we may be able to identify, and then reevaluate where we go from here, whether we find another firm or we work this out with the current firm.
Okay,
How long is that going to take?
Well, it's not gonna get started with a boat in the parking lot. So it's going to take as long as it's going to take once I've done all the other things that are on the plate.
Well, I know, I'm just trying to, you know.
But I'm not pushing the port to say let's wrap it up,
Sure,
even though
I
there's
don't-
funds owed me or owed the port. I've voiced the concern to Travis is that, okay, you know, I don't want to start over with somebody because then there's a whole new cost. At the same time, I want to get this done. So we need to,
so my question for you is, I know you said you're not an engineer, but you can still draw them. And the purpose really is just for future building and future connections and,
the purpose is to allow the water committee, the port management, and, you know,
As
commissioners.
but it's not state required is it a state requirement that the engineer, a stamped engineer has to do?
I have tried to twist that every which way known to hell.
Okay,
And it looks like to me, I can create it, but it doesn't hold up.
okay,
In the end, it's an engineer that has to create it, or at least
Sign off
on it. If this was 5 years ago, I had a firm that could, you know,
do that.
that could handle that, because they've worked with me on a number of projects, and, you know my integrity, that I'm conservative. When it's somebody else's system, I'm more conservative. When it's my system, I'm more liberal. Meaning, if I'm doing somebody else's work, I want to make sure I got to Nat's eyebrow. Mine, I can wiggle a little bit one way or the other. So, you know, like I said, I've told Travis I'd do it in a heartbeat. It'll take me some time, but at least I can get it down. And by hook and by crook, I can have both your vertical view and your profile view. And, you know, just like the water committee reviewed here a plan put out by Kitsap Housing. It's got some lacking issues too in their as-bills. And we ran into trouble with as-bills from the engineering firm they used then. So I know of 3 different firms that seem to be really struggling. And we all know them. I won't name them at this point unless you ask me to. Is that all 3 firms are not, in my judgment, I am not a government guy. I don't need that side. But looking at the writing on, you know, as far as the code, we're not even close. They're not doing the profiles. They're missing. The first one with Kitsap Housing had things in Wheelwright Street that were off by 20 feet vertically.
So why don't we have you do it?
Hey, if you can get it passed, that's fine. But I'm just saying, my review of it, it doesn't hold up as far as,
Simply because you're not an
I'm not
engineer.
an engineer, so I can't.
Get an engineer
But,
that
you know, a lot of
paid
times if
money,
you take.
sign off on
A
it.
lot of times if you
And
take all that too,
I'm
then-
fine with it, whatever, you know, the port wants to do.
Okay,
But what I'm really trying to say is, straight up, normally I can't, I mean, even though I have the skill to do it, I'm not licensed to do that.
I get that,
So,
that's true.
and I'm, believe me, I got to wrap this thing up too, I mean.
You had something
Well,
you
and for
can,
future
Well, my
building.
question is, I respect what you're saying, Jeff, but my question is, the engineering firm that stamps it, they're gonna be the ones that are gonna be on the hook for
Yeah.
this,
Yeah, that's true.
right?
Yeah,
So,
they can use like an intern, to do different
I
measurements.
understand all
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I understand that, but once they put the engineering stamp
Yeah.
on it, they're on the hook.
yeah.
Is that correct?
Well, that's true,
So,
but if they're incorrect,
Yeah.
we litigate it?
Can we do-
understand your
Remember,
point.
the reason this is all being created is so to make his job easier in administrating, figuring out what we do when people want to connect to the water system. Allow the water committee to be able to review it and have you, and hopefully not have a whole bunch of conflicting data.
Yeah.
Now, I know this is gonna sound, but since we have an engineer that's gonna sign off on what we don't believe it really is, if we get you to do the other, we've got the engineering stamp that says this is what it is.
You work it out, All I'm
yours-
saying is,
And yours says this is what it actually is. And we work off the reality instead of the,
and maybe it's one of those, meetings that he has, with the
Yeah.
attorneys on the normal day-to-day stuff.
I don't know if that's.
It's a good
yeah.
question.
I ask the question and say, okay, here's our problem, and here's the problem. 3 different firms have turned out less than optimum stuff. And basically, we have somebody that has a skill to produce it, but he's not licensed as an engineer to stamp it. How do we work?
Okay.
Because in my mind, the current firm has not lived up to the agreement. That's the other aspect. But it would be helpful to have, in the case that Travis has mentioned, having your staff or, your people take some of the measurements, cross-check with me, make sure, but they'll be off, there's no doubt. And then see what it comes up to, and then go back to the firm and say, okay, we expected a product. And see, when this first came to be, we looked at this firm that the port's using to take my drawings and put it into yours, and my notes on my drawings into your system. We provided him copies of my drawings, and we said, this is what we want to see.
Oh, and they didn't,
No.
okay.
So, in other words, in generally speaking, it showed the layout vertically as well as, horizontally.
Mhm.
And, side profile and the whole 9 yards. But that hasn't happened yet.
Okay,
So I don't want to beat it to death, but I'm not pressing the port that it has to be resolved today or tomorrow or this month. But I would like to.
Sometime in the near future, huh?
Right.
Yeah,
And
that
I
makes
am
sense.
open to wrapping up one way or the other. Obviously, if I'm gonna do the drawings, it's gonna be a different number that I
Sure.
contribute,
absolutely.
but, we can talk about that later.
Okay,
But we're not even at that point yet, so.
thank you.
Okay, thank you.
More time than I anticipated, but.
That's all right. Allyn Waterfront Pier Repairs.
Yeah, it's been an action-packed month, as you've heard, so I have not moved any additional room or work on the pier repairs.
What is going on with the railing? I mean, who's going to be actually,
We're gonna get the permits for that from Mason County first before we go out to provide it to my plan is to provide it in a package to bidding firms for doing the rest of the work with the money that's there.
okay, because I know we started at one point
We
and then
did,
we
and
backtracked.
it was going to be an individual project, but I think that this all needs to be just tied into one. So that all of the money is used under one contractor to finish the work.
Do we have the drawings and everything that we needed for the railing and what we want?
Yes, we do
so they
have,
know-
we have the drawings pretty much ready to go.
So now it's just a matter of
Yeah.
putting it all together to put out for bids. and
No, it's a matter of getting it over to the county to get the permit for it.
Permit. We didn't have the permit before, or that expired?
We've never had the permit for that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right. That's right, because now it's encompasses a whole lot more than just the.
Yeah, so
Okay,
we need to put that out for one company to do all of the work.
okay, yeah, it wasn't required just for the railings, so, okay. All right, Oyster House relocation.
So you heard the insulation got passed by the county here this week. So we are approved to cover. And then, of course, the working with the engineering firm to resolve some of the specifics of the contract so that they can get moving on our engineered drawings for the new design, putting it over the water.
Now, are they gonna put the drywall and all that up before we move it?
We haven't discussed that, but it will be, it's something that needs to be discussed. And you can put drywall up in buildings before they're moved.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I imagine it flexes a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Crack and,
It's the mudding that would crack.
yeah, the mudding is the part that cracks.
well, yeah,
Covering of that shouldn't have an issue.
well, that's, yeah. So the mudding will be done over the water then?
I can't say when that'll be done right at this point. Like, I have no idea.
Hopefully before.
We need to progress to just getting it covered to start with.
Yeah, hopefully
So
before.
we'll get as much done as we possibly can where it
Now, is
sits.
the drywalling gonna be done by, volunteers or,
We have to find someone to do that through the North Bay Historical Society. Yeah.
okay? That'll work. Let's see here. Engineering contract with L Sport Engineering.
Yeah, and I just touched on that.
Right. Okay,
Something that would have been done if hadn't the boat sunk.
Oh, okay. Have you been keeping in
Yes,
you've been keeping in contact?
I talked to Peter here the other day.
Okay,
so.
great. Are we close to getting it figured out?
We discussed working on it and getting it done at the end of last week, but
Okay.
did not get done. So we will be working on it throughout the week.
okay, now the elephant in the room. The Sea Bear incident report.
Yeah, well, you got a chance to read it. You have any questions about the process or where we're going from here? Or?
No, I
No,
was,
you've kept me informed. at
Yeah, I was
least kept
informed
all
through
of
the
us
whole thing.
informed.
do you have any questions? Because I know you weren't initially part of the,
I don't have any questions at this time.
I've
Lauren.
heard from some of the complaints.
No,
but,
we
you
are
know,
we are
moving
scheduled
forward.
to put it out of its misery on the 15th.
it'll be a done deal.
Well, it's not a done deal till it's a done deal. So,
Wow.
the crews are all coordinated to make it happen on Thursday.
Okay, and then, the devil, I can't talk all of a sudden. The vessel reimbursement from the state,
So we have to
derelict vehicle.
We have to
or vessel?
apply for that, and we will be applying for that after we've paid for
Everything,
everything. We may be able to apply for it in sections. I will have to contact them and find out. But that is the number one priority because of how destructive it is to our budget.
yeah, it's a huge amount of money, it's not a small amount of money.
So, which we have the lion's share of that removal in the approved vouchers coming up.
Yeah.
Yep, and that can take what, 4 months, 6 months
I
to give it?
can't,
Don't
I
know?
can't tell you how long
Okay.
it's gonna take, it's the state, and I just know that we did one when I first started doing office time in here before I became director, and it took about 5 months to get that one reimbursed.
Ouch, yeah. And that's a big chunk. It's cost us a lot. I'm glad it's reimbursable.
And there's an error here, it says date for December special meeting.
Oh. Yep. I'll make that adjustment.
So are we gonna have a extra meeting? Do we need an extra meeting?
Yes.
I would say that we need to put together an extra meeting at this point. It would be a special meeting, most likely looking at preferably,
26th through the 30th, I believe you said, in the email?
Yeah, the week of January 26th through the 30th. I suppose,
Okay,
I think an evening meeting would be better than a morning meeting. And I also kind of mentioned that if we could put ourselves on a consistent day, or it's just 2 weeks, even though it's not in like a regular meeting, but it's a special meeting, we may or may not have that special meeting, but it would always be scheduled for the same day, so that it can be consistent with everybody's calendars.
I'm good with Monday night, 26th. Oh, not you, huh? Okay.
Well, normally I go to another meeting that I gotta be at 6
Okay.
o'clock in Shelton. So it would depend on
Okay,
how long the meeting lasts. If I can be out of here by 5:30 then I can go from one meeting to the next.
And special meetings are typically targeted. We're looking at maybe, a few topics, and we discuss those to do that regular business that we need to get done before the next regular meeting.
can we have it at 4? Kind of depends on Kobe's schedule.
As long as it's in the afternoon, I can make 4
Okay.
o'clock. I can
4
make 4.
o'clock?
Yeah.
So would that work for you on Mondays, 4 o'clock?
I can do Monday at 4.
Okay. Does that sound good for you, everybody?
Yeah, I can do Monday at 4 on the 26th.
Yes.
Yeah, and if we can find a way that 4 o'clock time frame on Monday works, it'd be generally
Consistent.
easier, consistent, and you don't have to be, everyone looking at their calendars trying to figure out what day would work during the course of that week
Yeah.
for a special meeting.
I'm good with that.
Okay, it'll be so.
All right, let's see. The Sweetwater Creek project update. Do we still have people online?
Yep.
Yeah.
They do. Okay.
Well, we kind of discussed a little bit about that, but that major hurdle to getting into compliance with the RCO requirements to get the property opened up to the public has been accomplished. There's a few loose ends that we'll work on to get to that point, but the deadline that we have imposed is having the property open by March 31st.
Okay.
So,
And it can be, right now, it can be with the trails that are currently there without. having
yeah,
to
we're not
do any
cutting,
disturbing
we're not
of
doing
land or
we're not
anything
doing
else.
any other types of trails or anything. It's just the current road bed that's there. And we've got some other things that need to be accomplished before any kind of further development of the property goes on.
And our insurance has approved of exactly what we've done and what we've not done.
Well, insurance doesn't really approve things like that. They
Well, I
just-
mean, yeah,
they
but I
let us
mean-
know that there's an issue there and we need to
Yeah,
address it.
because once what we addressed is all they're concerned about.
that was a concern of theirs, so we've addressed that.
Okay. Anybody got anything else they wanna
So,
ask?
yep, and more information at the February regular meeting onto when we're getting closer to being able to have an opening.
Yeah, because I'd like to see it opened as soon as possible, you know. If we can get it before the due date.
Yeah,
so
well,
that-
we have to get it done before the due.
Well, yeah, but I mean, a lot, before anything else sneaks in and messes it up, we'll get it. I think our goal should be to, we started this project years ago. We've used taxpayer money to accomplish it. We need to stick with it, get it done, and meet our requirements. And
Let's see.
continue forward on it.
Definitely one step at a time. We'll get that thing open, then we'll figure out where we're.
What the next
going,
step
next
is and what we
steps
need
are.
to do,
I'm already signed up for some RCO workshops with the Sound Enhancement Group partners for the application process for grant funding.
Okay.
And just bring you that information as I get it.
All right, thank you. Okay, new items. Emergency action vessel removal, I think we've,
Yeah, we've kind of covered that
Quick
along the
question.
way, yes.
Where did we add the committee report?
Oh,
It was
we,
just a-
we were supposed to talk about it during the water system
Okay.
development. After the holdback, and it
Okay.
seemed like some of it had been discussed,
I
but,
just said the committee,
yeah.
reference what the committee was doing, that one aspect.
so we need to go backwards then?
well, no, you could just, put that into the agenda now.
Make a motion, we add that now then.
Yeah, well, we
Okay.
did already kind of, so go ahead and.
Go-
push it.
Go
All
ahead
right,
and just
sure,
have
yeah.
the committee discussion.
We'll get that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen.
Jeff Carey, committee chair of the water planning committee, so chair of that. 3 members. 1, it's working well. 2, like we had a review of the Kids Up Housing, and a number of points came up about everything from well house locations to lines and different things that came up in that whole discussion. And this is the type of thing that I was hoping it would work out to be when we talked about, creating a water committee. Between Jim's experience with a larger water system, mine was a smaller, and with Scott's is a mid-size, in between, it's a dynamic that's giving, what the large, what the small, what the mediums are doing, and how to make it best work with the port. And hopefully, while it did take more time than we anticipated the last meeting to go through drawings, hopefully it's setting the stage for Travis to be able to go back to the different parties and allow to get things to happen in a much more complete way. Little things like, one of the members raised the issue about the booster pumps because it wasn't real clear what they were doing. And actually doing a little bit more research since that meeting, there is some more issues to look at to make sure we're not creating an albatross for the port as far as maintenance.
Oh, interesting, okay.
Jim had some concerns, one of the committee members had some concerns that the pumps that they were using were too small relative to the number. It's a little satellite section, but it feeds, I believe 6 + 9 or 6 + 8, either 14, 15 homes equivalent. And I'll talk to Travis later, but basically there might be a little problem in how they're speccing it. It just depends how much water is coming to that booster to be able to service that area, because that service area, especially with another developments coming, was it JDK?
Yeah, JDK.
Their houses would be at the same level almost as your water tank.
Oh, okay.
So your boosting has to occur. And down at the bottom where they're starting the development, you wouldn't notice it as much, but by the time you work the way up the hill, you're definitely gonna feel it. So all I'm saying is, well, it's a little bit, it's been kind of meeting, no meetings, meeting, no meetings. At least when stuff's coming before us, we're able to look at things. And like in the last meeting, which kind of referenced a little bit, we started looking at the budget. We started looking at some of the things, and that's where, when I was looking at it, looked like to me we're a little short on the day-to-day operations. We're doing fine on the connection fees, but a little short on the day-to-day water sales side. Not that you can get more, it's just that your expenses are more. And we just have to look at that. One other area, and I'll leave it at this, is that we also took a look at a report I helped when we bought our system to look at what we call end of life. In other words, your tank doesn't last forever. And you have connection fees, which are designed, we're going to have to come up with policy and eventually work it all the way, and the board's going to have to approve it. But what of those monies get spent for that, and what has to come out of operations, your water sales? Because in time, you're going to have, as a percentage of your gross revenue, less and less coming from connection fees. Because eventually, you're in the UGA, and you have to stay in those boundaries and things of that nature. So there's only so many lots, and so at some point that connection number starts to be less and less each year, and so your revenues have to come from your water sales. And they gotta be adequate to cover you, month in, month out, but also, part of producing this report was saying, here's kind of a general inventory of what you got for pipes, valves, pumps, that kind of thing, and saying, okay, what's the service life statistically of this? And that's what we're trying to work out, and say, okay, how much, for this size of system, how much do you need to start planning on your month in, year out type putting away, so that when you do have to reline the reservoir, that you have the funds to be able to do that. Because, maybe a certain portion of that comes out of new connections, but eventually you're not going to have a lot of new connections, relatively speaking. So, that was one area. And then I guess the last thing we talked about too was the port, even though it's a heavy-duty expense, but it's more of a capital expense, is to address the water system plan, even though it's due in 2027. Right, and even though you can get extensions and things of that nature, that's not really where the port's got a rub. The port's got a rub in that, as an example, you had I don't know, what was it, 12, 15 new connections come in the last 2 or 3 months?
Yeah, well, that we've started the process.
Yeah.
Correct.
We started the process, and, one of them was tonight. You did one tonight. But what I'm getting at is, the port's current plan with the state only allows a total, even including my system that you bought, 150 connections total.
Right.
And you have roughly 100 active, and you got a number being built, and hopefully it goes better, but taking some of the things we run into trying to create this plan for the intertie of merging the two systems, that took 1.5 years. And that, in my mind, was a relatively small project.
Should have been, yeah.
Yeah, okay. What I'm concerned about from the port's standpoint is that you do one of these now for the whole system. Is it gonna be that same type of timetable or more or less? And, because there'll be a point where the port won't be able to give more water connections until. So we haven't formalized it in a statement, but I mentioned to the committee that I would at least talk about it to the board, to the commission, and to strongly give the go-ahead at some point to pursue that. I think what I'm concerned about is, you look at the engineers and they're charging a hell of a lot for these plans. My personal belief, having gone through one of these myself, is that a spec has to be kind of created to focus them, not only what the state wants, but where we want them to go. And the reason I say where we want them to go is, in the past, we let the engineers do their thing, they come back and they got this big bill and they got this plan. In doing that, for example, and I think I've stated it before, there's something that determines how many users you can have in addition to your water rights, and that's your ability to provide peak hourly demand and not lose pressure. And the factors that the port used when they created its water plan and the factors I used when we created our water system plan and got approved by the state are 2 to 1 different. And what that means in just the big picture is that I believe if those same standards that were used on our system were used on the port system, would allow the port to gain between 50 and 100% more connections without additional infrastructure creation.
Can the water committee kind of help pinpoint stuff like
We'll
that?
talk about,
Because that would be really.
they have the capability, but what I'm trying to instill here is that there's a certain, I won't say urgency, but a need to focus and go in that direction, based upon the time and the different aspects. Because if we can focus it, then, and the port doesn't have to build more infrastructure, and developers building the rest of it, that will put the port in the best long-term position. And it's unfortunate, but when they created the plan for the port, they're planning literally 2 times more water per user than they do on my old system.
Gotcha.
And we have, at the time we sold the system, you know, we have all kinds of records that show what that peak hour is, because I didn't have a reservoir like you did. So you'd pump and fill, and then a day or two go by before you had to pump and fill it. In my case, I only had bladder pressure tanks.
Yep.
So once 105 gallons was used, you had to pump again. And so that gave us very tight range and numbers, so we could actually see with our system what peak hour demand was on our system. And being that a significant portion of the port system is in the same type of service area that I was in, and the same type of structures and houses and water usage, the numbers would be very similar.
You were talking about the pump earlier, sorry, I'm jumping back a
That's
little bit. But, and pressure, would it help to put in another bladder pressure to make up for
Which system we're talking about?
Well, you said the one that you were concerned about the pump not being large enough.
No, they have that design as what's the term? It's a kind of a constant pressure, in other words, it has just a little kind of shock tank, and basically has a controller, and as soon as it senses water being drawn, it pushes water.
Right.
And what I'm getting at is looking at some specs, which I'll talk to Travis more about later, at another point here in the next day or two. It looks like it might not be enough horsepower to feed that enough gallons per minute at peak hour demand. As an example, they need for 14 houses, I know it's like 40 gallons per minute peak. It changes because there's a weird thing that happens in usage when you go like to 20 users. It's not as much. It's like 35 gallons per minute. It's weird how they figure that. But the bottom line is there's the scientific years of evaluation that they give that. But basically, I'm concerned that it's not going to, and so is the committee, concerned that it's not going to be able to drive at the peak hour demand at the rate they need.
Which pump is that?
This is this booster on this phase 2 of Kitsap housing.
Okay.
Not this bid or anything that had in front of you here, or nothing related to that.
Okay.
So, okay, that's the gist. And
Okay.
it's more than you want, but we're making up for lost years.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, the state auditor's office.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
yeah, if you'd like I explained before, we're about half to 3/4 of the way through the process. The exit meeting is scheduled for, I think, 3 weeks from now. With
Okay.
another status meeting in 2 weeks. So,
So by the time we have our next meeting,
that next regular meeting, we'll have it wrapped up.
but our special meeting, you may have an update.
No, it won't be wrapped up.
It won't be, but not wrapped up, but we'll have, you said you have an update.
Yeah, but
in 2 weeks.
I won't make it a topic of concern for the special meeting.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Let's wait until we're done with the process and then reveal the findings to the commission.
Okay, that'll work. All right, the financial position reports.
So Aaron did not give me a breakdown this time around, on, like I usually have for the state of the port, but I can say that we, are definitely in a state of flux with, our extra amount of cost when it comes to the vessel removal. And, we will be tracking that very closely because we may have to make some hard decisions due to that until we get reimbursed. So, I don't have a whole lot of good information yet because we have to get to that point, but it's definitely going to be tightening the belts. Now, I did go out and buy new flags for the front of the building because one of them is ripped. And I decided that having new flags was a line that I was not willing to not do. So we got new flags that'll go up here this week. But other than that, there will be no spending money on extra costs at this point until we've gotten our reimbursement.
Okay.
I have no questions.
Now, do we
And a
need-
lot of the the extra costs in our payroll vouchers is the amount of overtime that Evan ended up going towards dealing with the boat issue.
Yeah. See there.
That's,
Now, a lot of
we
that,
still have nightly security happening by port employees because people are attempting to get into that boat.
you're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. We still have to continue to watch that thing until it's out of there.
Too bad we couldn't
Even
have
with
the sheriff
fencing
come
around
by
it
and
and
catch him
everything
doing it and take care of the person that thinks that they can.
So yeah, like I said, all
salvage
things go well on the 15th, that boat will no longer be there.
Okay, all right, so, you wanna make a?
Sure, you need a motion, ready? Okay, I move to accept the payment general fund vouchers 2601-0014 -2601-0043 for $69,942.06. Payroll vouchers, 2601 quadruple one -2601 0013 for $28,360.70. Water fund vouchers 2601 00044 to -2601 00048 for $11,909.17.
Do I hear a second?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
Aye. It carries. Now we gotta sign. That becomes your responsibility.
Last two pages.
Oh, this goes with it for some reason. Didn't have a,
It doesn't have a
Okay.
signature page, that's just the voucher.
I think you just got connected to it
Oh,
somehow.
yeah, that's probably second page.
Well, there was the second page to the last page.
Yeah. Might be out of order, but there we go.
Peeking. The extra pages at the bottom. All right, next order of business is the good of the order. Anybody have anything for the good of the order?
Not right now, I don't. Can't think of anything. Happy New Year. Glad to
Yes.
see everybody here.
Do you have anything?
I have nothing.
The only thing I have is, I do have some. So I was looking over, like smart sheet areas and discussing some things. It's important that our employees be protected. And they're entitled to be able to work without it being a hostile work environment. Which means, comments need to be made directed to us and not to our employees. And if they have a problem with the employee, they need to talk to us about it and not attack our employees publicly.
Well
That's
said.
not appropriate.
Well said.
So-
Yeah, that's good.
And I want that to be made clear that I'm not going to allow that. People are allowed to say what they want, but, you know,
We're here, that's why we get paid the big bucks.
that's why we get paid the big bucks. So, and then the other thing is, I would like to see us make a goal to get our projects that we've had for a while, all three of them, is, I know sewer water is in sections, and finally we're gonna get through the first stage of it now, but by the end of the year, I'd like to see the other two completely done, so we can move on to bigger and better things that we'd like to, other things that the public might want to get accomplished, that we can start, because right now we've got too many things, we can't add anything else to accomplish what we got. So I'd like us to push forward and get stuff done. It no longer matters if people disagreed with something that we started 10 years ago. The money's been spent, it's been allocated, and for us to dump it now would be a waste of public resources.
Yeah.
It'd be ridiculous. So we need to finish what we start. So there's, no point in arguing about what, the ship sailed. We need to now get to the destination and do what we need to do. And that's what I got.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have something for the good of the order. When is that, I guess I never heard the details on the sea bear. Is there a chance we could,
He has a written report. You want to
Yeah,
I'd like to get a copy
Sure.
of that.
Yeah, it's on the website.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
great,
it's
great.
publicly available there.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier.
And then the other thing I like is, I don't know if anybody followed what happened in the Port of Bremerton over the last few months, but millions and millions of dollars were spent to remove a ship in Sinclair, I'm in a very large yacht. I'm in Sinclair Inlet. And then there's an old wood tug that everybody loved, but, that went down at the marina, which, I'm all for old wood boats, and I'm all for not, I'm over-regulating, but perhaps old wood boats should have, I know some marinas require insurance, right?
Maybe a different level of insurance for
Right.
wooden boats.
Yeah.
So, and I might be able to elaborate here. There really wasn't any number to the requirements the port required for insurance. It was just said that they required to have insurance. So I talked to our insurance provider, and they suggested you should have insurance that covers your entire facility. So I've been demanding $1 million worth of boat coverage from everybody that parks their boats storage-wise. So there's people that are having a hard time coming up with that because you can't get it from the discount insurers. They'll only give you $500,000.
Well, that's what I'm saying, maybe it's just for the most extreme large wood boats or something, perhaps.
Good point. Thank you.
And I think we've discussed also making sure that boats that come in the future have meet a minimum standard. Yeah. So they aren't a potential threat to our environment and to our dock and the other boats, because all of that is so.
But I also commend the port for jumping on this, because I know there's been cases where boats sink and then, nothing happens for months, if not years, so thanks for jumping on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that note, publicly, I'd like to thank you, Travis, for the hundreds of hours you put in on this. You worked hard. I've got, we've had phone calls and stuff throughout this, and I know you've worked extremely hard to get this done as quickly as possible and get it out of the water. I know you were very frustrated that it wasn't out almost immediately, but it was what it was, and you dealt with it the best I think anybody could have, and you did a good job, and I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And anybody have anything else that we need to discuss? Going once, twice, we're adjourned.